Well, first off, introductions. This is Sir Spynn, and I'm Peter. So I guess we'll start with the bare basics. I don't know how familiar a lot of you guys are with swordboard, or just any swordboard in general. A lot of the basics for what we do here is the same as what you'll do in Hamper. There's just a couple variations. But you're gonna have foot positioning. We both believe in different things. He likes to have his shield foot forward, whereas I like to have my weapon foot forward. For the same reason. I don't know. One of the things that's really important though is be really open to being right foot forward or left foot forward, because they both have their own advantages for particular situations. So you want to have, be in those situations where they're advantageous. You'll get a good feel for it. A lot of it has to do with stabs. It's really hard to stab with his left foot forward. Incredibly hard, whereas it's much easier for him to stab me with my right foot forward. So if he's leading with a stab, he'll usually step off. Right? So, I mean, we can go into that a little bit more. There's a couple different guards with a sword and shield. Seth's pulling more of kind of a hanging guard here, with his shield. So his hanging guard, this is used a lot in SCA. The hanging guard is really good for also helping protect your shoulder on your shield side. So the shield the sword can act as kind of like turrets on that. Okay? And also it opens you for a lot of high.
The primary reason I use this hanging guard, one of my favorite leads, is that quick, right in the pocket stab. Over where my guard is, I think it's the fastest to get those two shots. Most people die to those, so why do?
The next one is what we call an A-frame. An A-frame is pretty much where you're going to have your weapon, your shield. I like to, at least a lot of people like to have their shield to protect their shoulder. And my straps are fairly low, so my shield's protecting my shoulder a good amount.
And the reason for it is because I'm a grab I can put off. You didn't have that strap shield.
If my shield was here, just like a standard strap shield, I mean that's gonna kill me. Whereas like a straight down chop, even though that's still not gonna kill me on a ramp chop rope, and that's where it should be. It's really, really hard for people to achieve that high end grab. And then your weapon, in an A-frame stance, my weapon is right about where I hold it with single, and I have it right around, so like the bottom, like the middle of my hand is right in line with my belly button. And the reason
it doesn't stick out once past the shield. A lot of people make a mistake by the arm out there. You're gonna put your like a
hey buddy.
front guard. You want to have it. You can kill me.
and you don't want to have your hand
So I
too
can take
far
the class
back,
100
because
times.
in Belegarth, you can hit the shield. So if he's got his hand far back, like I can come in and really trap that shield. Right? It makes it really hard for him to do much of anything. Instead of using his own shield to pin him. So it's right about here, and it kind of creates an A of defense, right? Your head's also defense, I guess, but it's like the tip of your defense. And you want to keep your hand pretty low, especially with a lot of people throwing reverse wraps. Like you really need that defense pretty low, because otherwise people are going to sneak that in. Like if I'm here, it's really an advantageous shot. Now there's a couple different differences between a punch shield and a strap shield, more than just the way that they're held. The way that you defend with them is pretty different as well. When you defend with a punch shield, you want to think of it as like you see professional soccer goalies. Like when the guy's got a breakaway with the ball, the dude's going to charges out there, and basically what he does is he cuts off that angle the soccer player has to kick the ball into the goal. So he makes that angle smaller and smaller and smaller. Right? He's got to go around the goalie somehow. So you think about it, you keep your punch shield extended. You keep that. So you basically cut off the attack. So back here, it's much like he's got this. The shield is still here, and when it's here, it's much harder to get through. But with a strap, I mean, I kind of float it right around here. There's a lot of flails flail ball, if you've got your shield real close to your body, the flail ball is going to wrap over. It's going to kill you. If you've got a little bit of a distance to it, like this, that flail ball is just going to hang around right here. It's not going to do much. But in the same regard, I don't have it out like this. If I have this guy out like this, it's really easy for people to move. And also, turn yours to strap there for a second. And if he's holding his out like too far, what I can do, there's a couple things that can happen. If he's got his edge out a little bit, I mean, I can really, like, I can hook that edge, come in for a stab, and if he's throwing high crosses, I'm just gonna rim it. Right? And it's really, really, really hard to get any sort of power when someone punches you in the armpit with their sword or their shield.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's like when you're in leg situations, like if Seth's down on a knee.
Come on, man.
I'm surprised he could do.
Now, because turtling is really not a great idea at Belegarth. because in Amcard, you know, it's when you're turtled and you're right here, you're really, really pretty defensive. Like there's really not a lot of ways, you know, people can get into it. But if I'm down like this in Bel, and another thing in Belegarth, if you have both knees down, either hit to either leg counts as the up leg. Now, so a lot of people will take their other leg out, which results in that.
There's a reason you saw me sit on my butt.
Yeah. So a lot of times when people move in real close to me, I'll put that guy down. I usually bring my guard, something like here, to stop his high wrap there. And then we'll just kind of exchange like this.
It's called riding the pony, I believe.
Yeah.
I also want to mention that Spynn's not putting his shield against your shield. He's putting his shield against your sword arm.
Yeah.
So
because if he's got his shield in my sword arm or in my armpit,
Either one of these works.
I mean, it's really, really hard for me to generate motion and generate significant force for that hit. And just the same, because he's got a punch, he can really put a plane into it. But with this strap, I can really get this guy in here.
If you're curious if people do that, it's fucking awful. I learned to quit fighting when people do that. That's what you want to do. You gotta put your hand, that one cocksucker off.
Yeah.
So Peter, what is the good strategy when you're like on your knees? Because as far as I can tell, you're gonna get screwed in your face.
Basically,
Yeah,
like,
you're screwed.
A lot of people, like the real typical, what thing a lot of people will do. A lot of people will lead with a shield kick, and they'll just fucking smear you down and then hit you in the legs. Or what they'll do is they'll come in and they'll come right here, they'll just kind of kick you over.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
the crotch back.
I don't have many people try to. I have one of those filmed. Thank you.
Good.
People try to shield kick me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stab them in the dick really hard, so they won't do it again.
But like good responses to that, like if people come in for, you know, like shield kick, like shield kicks, I mean, I generally just take their leg, or I'll take their planted leg, and just kind of like plane my shield up. So their shield kick is, you're gonna, like, once their kick makes contact with my shield, I kind of plane it out, and then I have them down, and then I'll push them over because they're just coming down.
Generally what I do is once I've legged someone, I just step back, and I generally want to, because most people on their legs, you can't rotate quite as fast as you. I'll put the shield between you. My charger there, look at my sword right there, push their shield with my hand. Most people will spin away from me.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. That's why when people charge me, you see me just sit down. Because when they hit you, it hits you roll on your back.
Like good responses to people coming in and like pushing you over. I mean, I really want to roll back with it, and I'll get my shield right like in their crotch. And punch as absolutely hard as I can to make sure.
You're filming this, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
That's why his knees right here. That's what gets him moving. There's many people push with their body. You got to hit them with it.
Really, the only thing you can't defend really, really well once you get down on a knee is your legs.